seems to be almost like a science fiction story. It's so warm these days, right? You think? Never mind. But, okay, another point is that last week we had the wonderfully familiar story of the Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan, and we often hear these sections of the gospel only incrementally, only as really a piece here and a piece there, and we don't put them together. But the Samaritan story is very much like tonight's story. Sometimes in the Gospels, we get hints about what Jesus' social life may have been. As he traveled around in his public ministry with his disciples, he would stop to see his friends when he was in the neighborhood. Today, we have such an instance where Jesus visits his friends Martha, Mary, and Lazarus, the man who he was to raise from the dead. As we have seen earlier today in our first two readings, hospitality was a very serious duty for people in the ancient world, since travel was often precarious and dirty, and people needed to be attended to when they arrived at their destination. The three men who visited Jacob and Sarah are not, Abraham and Sarah, are no ordinary visitors, but they reward the barren couple by predicting that she would have a child by the time they would return that way in a year. In the familiar narrative about Martha's complaint to Jesus about Mary, that Mary is not helping her with the details of serving, Mary appears to have the superior choice, since she stays with Jesus and listens to his teaching, seated with the group of men that surround him. Martha, who has come down to us as a patron saint of hospitality, is still busy with very important work nonetheless, caring for the practical needs of the Lord and the other guests. But there is another point about Mary. Women were not allowed to mingle in the socializing of groups of men. Yet she has remained with them, sitting at Jesus' feet. Jesus has not told her to leave. No one seems to have objected, but he has even remarked that she, Mary, has chosen the better part. This scene can remind us of St. Paul, who tells us that in Christ there is no such thing as Jew or Greek, no Gentile, no men, no women, but all are one in Christ. But let us always be generous to help our neighbor like Martha, and always excited to pause and listen to Jesus like Mary.